Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something, and I want you to hear me like your life depends on it. Because maybe it does. See, there comes a point in your life when you're gonna have to stop blaming the world, your parents, your friends, your boss, the system, the weather, whatever it is. There comes a moment where all the noise needs to stop, and all that's left is you, and the mirror, just you and the truth, and truth don't stutter, truth don't flinch, truth don't care how much money you got in your pocket, or how many likes you got on your page. Truth just is, you look at that reflection and you ask yourself, am I doing what I was put on this earth to do, not what's easy, not what's safe, not what they told you would make you comfortable, but what you were called to do, what you were made to do. See, comfort is a liar. It'll whisper in your ear every night, telling you that tomorrow is guaranteed, telling you that you can take it easy today, that you've earned it, that you've suffered enough, that you don't need to push no more. But let me tell you something, nothing grows in comfort. You ever seen a tree grow in a parking lot? You ever seen greatness come out the convenience? No, it comes from struggle. From pain, from grind, from being on your knees and choosing to rise one more time when everything in your body says, stay down. Weakness. Now that's the real enemy, and I'm not talking about the kind that shows up when your body's tired or your mind's stretched. I'm talking about the kind that sneaks in when you're not looking, the kind that seduces you when you're vulnerable, the kind that whispers, settle, the kind that tells you to lower your standard just this one time. Let me tell you something else. The world doesn't owe you understanding. The world doesn't care how hard it's been for you. Life is not going to hand you success because you had it rough. That pain you feel, that loss, that betrayal, that setback, that disappointment, that ain't an excuse. That's your fuel. Because I promise you this, there's someone out there who's got it worse than you and still waking up at 5 a.m. every morning, still putting in the work, still believing, still praying, still building brick by brick, breath by breath. What makes them different? Not their talent, not their money, not their background. It's choice. They chose to fight. They chose discipline over distraction. They chose responsibility over regret. They chose to bet on themselves when nobody else would, and you can too. Don't you dare sit there thinking that life is gonna deliver you your purpose in a gift-trapped box. That's not how it works. Purpose ain't found, it's forged, in the fire, in the loneliness, in the silence, in those moments where the only thing louder than the voices outside is the roar of doubt inside. But that's where your power is. See, power doesn't come from what you lift. It comes from what you carry and refuse to drop. It comes from the scars, from the falls, from the bruises you got behind closed doors when no one was watching. Power comes from pain that didn't break you. So many people walk through life wearing masks, smiling for the camera, dying on the inside, acting like they got it all together because they think that's what strength looks like. No, real strength is being honest with yourself. Real strength is getting back up with trembling hands. Real strength is choosing not to quit even when quitting looks like the easier road. You think the road to greatness is lit with neon signs and confetti? No, sir, it's dark, it's cold, it's quiet, and most of the time you'll walk it alone. But if you can push through the silence, if you can keep moving when there's no applause, no cheers, no recognition, that's when you separate yourself from the rest. People out here chasing applause when they should be chasing discipline. See, applause is temporary, it fades, but discipline, that stays. Discipline builds character. Discipline builds legacy. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your habits. You can dream all day, talk all night, plan all year. But if you don't show up and do the work, it's all noise. Dreams without discipline are just fantasies, and fantasies don't feed you. Fantasies don't pay the bills. Fantasies don't raise families, change lives, or leave legacies. You know what does: sacrifice, hard choices, long nights, saying no to what feels good so you can say yes to what's right. Some of y'all praying for blessings, but you ain't ready for the weight that comes with them. See, you don't get the crown without the cross. You don't get the platform without the pain. You don't get the victory without the valley. Everybody wants success till they see what it costs. You willing to pay that price? You willing to lose sleep, friends, comfort, pride? You willing to wake up every day and look your fear in the eye and say, "Not today"? Then you're ready, because the battlefield is not out there. It's in your mind, it's in your soul, and every day is war. War against doubt, war against fear, war against laziness, war against mediocrity. Every day you got a choice, lead or follow, fight or fold, rise or retreat. Don't you dare settle for average. Don't you dare let weakness speak louder than your purpose. Don't you dare let temporary pleasure rob you of permanent potential. You think you've failed, so what? Everybody fails. The question is, what now? What are you going to do with it? You going to sit in it, drown in it, wear it like a label, or you going to learn from it, use it? Let it build you. Failure ain't the end unless you let it be. It's a teacher, it's a refiner. It's the fire that reveals what you're made of when life knocks you down, and it will. It's not asking you to stay down. It's asking, how bad do you want it? You gonna wait for motivation. That's like waiting for lightning to strike in the same place twice. Motivation is fleeting, but purpose is forever. You gotta build habits that hold you when the hype dies. You gotta have a why so strong that when the pain hits, when the storm comes, when the lights go out, you don't crumble, you climb. Because here's the truth, and I want you to hear me. You were not put on this earth to be weak. You were not born to quit. You were not made for mediocrity. You were made to overcome. You were made to impact. You were made to stand when others fall. You got something inside you. Call it grit. Call it fire. Call it God. I don't care what name you give it, but it's real. And it's waiting for you to stop playing small and start standing tall. I don't care what your past says. I don't care what they told you. I don't care what your bank account says, or your background, or your degree. You are not limited by your circumstances. You are only limited by your commitment, because potential don't mean a damn thing without action. You could have the greatest gifts in the world, but if you sit on them, if you let fear hold the pen of your story, you'll die with your music still inside you. And I don't know about you, but I refuse to let the grave steal my greatness. See, you gotta decide, right here, right now, not tomorrow, not next week. Now, you gotta draw a line and say no more. No more excuses, no more distractions, no more letting weakness win. Because weakness is not who you are. It's who you've been told you are. It's a lie dressed up as truth. It's a voice that only has power if you let it speak. But your soul knows better. Your heart knows better. It knows that you were born to rise. To build, to lead, to break cycles, to break chains, to be the first, to be the one, to carry that torch when everybody else dropped it. You might be tired, you might be hurting, but you're still breathing. And if you're breathing, you're still in the fight. So fight. Fight for your future. Fight for your legacy. Fight for that version of you that you haven't met yet, but one day will look in the mirror and say, "Thank you for not giving up on me." Don't let the world tame your fire. Don't let comfort kill your calling. Don't you dare, because when the dust settles, when the noise fades, when the lights dim and the curtain falls, what matters most won't be how easy your life was. It'll be whether or not you showed up, whether or not you fought back, whether or not you rejected weakness and stood like most people think success is about talent, about luck, about being in the right place at the right time. But that's not the truth. The truth is, success is about one thing: discipline, not the glamorous kind that looks good in a highlight reel. I'm talking about the kind of discipline that happens when nobody's watching. The kind that makes you get up early when your body begs to stay in bed. The kind that makes you say no to comfort, even when every part of you wants to say yes. Comfort is seductive, it's soft, it's easy. It wraps around you like a blanket and whispers, "You've done enough." It tells you that tomorrow is fine, that skipping one workout won't matter, that letting yourself slide just a little is okay. But comfort is a liar. It steals from you quietly, and by the time you notice, it's already taken your ambition, your hunger, your edge. See, we live in a world that worships ease. We're told to chase happiness, to find balance, to take it slow. But there's a cost to that mindset. Comfort zones don't just keep you safe. They keep you small. They lock you in place while the clock keeps ticking, and while you're sitting there saying, "Maybe later." Someone else is out there doing the work, pushing through the pain, getting stronger, sharper, better. Discipline is the antidote to comfort. Discipline says, I don't care how I feel, I care about who I'm becoming. It's not about motivation. Motivation fades, discipline stays. It's the decision you make every day to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it, especially when you don't feel like doing it. There's nothing glamorous about waking up before the sun. There's nothing exciting about repetition, doing the same thing the right way over and over again. It's not sexy, but it's necessary. Discipline is about showing up, not showing off. It's about laying bricks, day after day, when the building still looks like an empty lot. Most people quit during the silent season, the time when the results don't show, when the progress is invisible, when the applause is gone. But discipline doesn't need applause. It doesn't need validation. It just needs commitment. You ever see someone who's built something great? A business, a body, a life, a legacy that wasn't built in a moment of inspiration, that was built in the grind, in the hours no one clapped for. In the moments they could have quit but chose not to. They understood something most people don't. Comfort might feel good now, but discipline pays forever. You gotta make a decision. Are you chasing short-term pleasure or long-term purpose? Because you can't have both. You can't live in comfort and expect to grow. Growth requires stretch. It requires tension. It requires doing what's hard, what's boring, what's painful. Discipline is doing the hard thing when the easy thing is available. It's taking the stairs when the elevator's working. It's making the call when you're afraid of rejection. It's hitting the gym when your body is tired. It's eating clean when junk food is one click away. It's keeping your word to yourself even when no one else would know if you didn't. People will tell you to listen to your body. I say, listen to your purpose. Your body will lie. Your emotions will lie. They want relief, but purpose wants results, and results don't come from doing what's easy. They come from doing what's right, consistently. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you cast a vote for your future. You put another brick in the foundation of the life you say you want. And every time you choose comfort over discipline, you push that future a little further away. Discipline isn't about punishment. It's about alignment, aligning your actions with your goals, aligning your time with your values, aligning your habits with your identity. If you want to be a warrior, you train like a warrior. If you want to be a leader, you think and act like a leader. If you want to be free, you sacrifice like someone who wants freedom more than fun. Comfort is cheap. It's everywhere. It's packaged in distraction, in laziness, in instant gratification. But discipline, that's rare, that's valuable. That's the mark of someone who's serious about becoming the person they were created to be. You don't need more motivation. You don't need better circumstances. You need a standard, a non-negotiable, a line in the sand that says, this is who I am, and I don't care how I feel. I'm doing what needs to be done. Discipline is the bridge between the life you have and the life you want. You want to transform, start with your habits, start with your decisions, start with your mornings, win the morning, win the day. Win enough days, you change your life. No one's coming to do it for you. No one's going to hold your hand and walk you across that bridge. That's on you, and the longer you wait, the harder it gets. The longer you live in comfort, the deeper the roots grow. And before you know it, you've built a life that feels safe. But dead inside, you weren't born for comfort. You were born for greatness. And greatness doesn't bloom in ease, it blooms in effort. It blooms in repetition. It blooms in doing the things that scare you, bore you, challenge you, stretch you. Every champion you've ever admired chose discipline over comfort. Every leader, every legend, every story worth telling. They all had the same choice you have today. Give in to comfort or rise up in discipline. And they chose rise. You have that same power, right here, right now, no matter where you started, no matter what you've done. The path is clear. Reject comfort. Embrace discipline again and again. And again, until it becomes who you are. Weakness. It's a word people throw around too easily, like it's permanent. Like it's stitched into your DNA, like it's carved into your bones. but it's not. Weakness isn't who you are. It's what you accept, what you tolerate, what you surrender to when the pressure gets too high and the excuses get too loud. But you need to understand something. Weakness is not your identity, it's a decision. A choice, and every single day you choose whether to feed it or fight it. See, we live in a world that loves to put labels on people, labels that say you're broken, you're not enough, you'll never make it. This is just who you are, but that's not truth. That's fear talking. That's society trying to box you in so you don't disturb the comfort of the crowd. But the crowd never changed the world. The crowd never built greatness. The crowd settles. You weren't made to settle. You weren't built to break. Weakness starts in the mind. It starts as a thought. I can't do this. I'm not good enough. This is too hard. And that thought, if you entertain it, if you nurture it, becomes belief. And belief becomes behavior. And before you know it, you're acting like weakness is part of who you are. But that's a lie. That's not your voice. That's not your heart talking. That's the voice of every moment you backed down. Every time you looked at the mountain and turned the other way. And that voice only grows if you keep listening. You can't fight what you accept. And too many people have made peace with their weakness. They've learned to live with it. They've dressed it up with distractions, numbed it with comfort, masked it with pride. But deep down, they know it's there. That quiet voice whispering, you could be more than this. You should be more than this. And the truth is, they're right. You could, you should, you still can. The choice to reject weakness starts when you stop making excuses. Excuses are weakness in disguise. They sound reasonable, they sound justified, but they rob you just the same. Every time you say, I don't have time, I'm too tired, it's too late. You hand weakness the keys to your future. You hand over your dreams like they don't matter. But they do. They matter, and you know they matter, or you wouldn't be thinking about them right now. Nobody said this was going to be easy. Growth isn't convenient. Becoming strong doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you confront the parts of you that are soft, that are scared, that are lazy, and say, you don't run the show anymore. It happens when you wake up and do what you said you would do, even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. Weakness shows up in silence. It hides behind the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of not being enough. But here's the truth. Failure is feedback, judgment is noise, and not being enough is a lie. You are more than enough the moment you decide to act like it, the moment you stop apologizing for wanting more, the moment you stop pretending that you're okay with staying small. You were not made to blend in. You were made to stand up and stand out, and that means rejecting weakness. Not with your words, but with your life, with your choices, with your standards. It means raising the bar and refusing to lower it just to make others comfortable. It means pushing past your limits not because it's fun, but because it's necessary. Pain is part of the process. Resistance is part of the process. Weakness wants you to believe that pain is the enemy. That discomfort is a sign you should stop. But pain is not punishment. It's preparation. It's pressure that forms power. Diamonds don't form in soft hands. They form in heat, in darkness, under pressure. And so do people, so do warriors, so do leaders. Every time you feel like quitting and you choose to keep going, you chip away at weakness. Every time you show up when you'd rather run, you prove that weakness doesn't own you. And you don't need anyone to cheer you on. You don't need someone to validate you. This is between you and the mirror. Between you and the voice inside that knows the truth. You want confidence, earn it. You want strength, build it. You want to be free, break yourself out of the cage. The door was never locked. You just stopped trying to open it. The strongest people you'll ever meet weren't born that way. They were made through fire, through doubt, through days when it would have been easier to quit. But they didn't, and that's the difference. Not luck, not talent, not blessings, decisions. You don't fix weakness by wishing it away. You fix it by facing it, by putting yourself in the hard situations on purpose, by saying, this scares me, but I'm doing it anyway, by walking into the arena bruised and broken and still choosing to fight. That's where strength is built, not in winning but in refusing to run. Stop waiting to feel strong before you act strong. That's backwards. You act strong first. You move forward even when you're shaking. You speak truth even when your voice trembles. You push back against the darkness, even if all you've got is a spark, because that spark, that's enough if you protect it, if you feed it, if you refuse to let the wind of doubt blow it out. Weakness isn't who you are, it's what you overcome. It's the old version of you begging to stay alive, but that version has had its time, it's done. It's served its purpose. Now it's time for you to evolve. To become the person you were always meant to be before fear got a hold of you, before life tried to break you, before the world tried to convince you to play small. There is more in you, there's strength. There's fire, there's greatness, but you'll never see it if you keep choosing comfort over courage, if you keep choosing easy over effort, if you keep choosing weakness over war. This life will test you. It will knock you down, it will hurt you, but you are not a victim unless you stay down, unless you give up, unless you hand over your story and let fear write the ending. You want to be free, you want to be strong. Then decide, right now, that no matter what comes, you will not break. You will not bow. You will not be defined by weakness, not today, not ever. Leadership isn't something you wait for. It's not a title someone hands you. It's not something you qualify for after years of playing small. Leadership is a mindset, a responsibility, a calling that starts the moment you decide you're done settling for less, because settling is easy. Settling is familiar. Settling is safe, but you weren't built for safety. You weren't put here just to survive. You were made to lead, and that means you were made to stand up when others sit down, to move forward when others stay stuck, to speak truth when silence feels more comfortable. We live in a world that encourages people to blend in. Keep your head down, don't make waves, fit in the mold. But every time you shrink, every time you lower your standard just to be accepted, you betray your own greatness. You weren't made to follow the crowd. You were made to rise above it, to break patterns, to shake foundations. You were made to be a voice in a world of echoes. But leadership doesn't start when you've got a platform. It doesn't begin when everyone believes in you. It begins when you believe in yourself, even if no one else does. It begins when you take ownership of your life. When you stop blaming your circumstances, your past, your pain, and you start saying, this is mine to carry, this is mine to build, this is mine to lead. Real leaders don't wait for permission. They take initiative. They don't need the path to be cleared. They clear it themselves. The world is full of talent that went unused, dreams that never got off the ground, people who had the potential but lacked the fire. They settled. Maybe it was fear. Maybe it was failure. Maybe it was the comfort of being average, but they let the weight of uncertainty crush their drive. And that's the difference between a follower and a leader. A follower waits to be told what to do. A leader looks at what needs to be done and does it, scared, unsure, tired. They still do it. You've got that in you, that strength, that grit, that calling. It's been there the whole time. Maybe life tried to bury it. Maybe you stopped listening to it, but it didn't die. It's still in you, waiting for you to stop settling and start leading, waiting for you to stop hiding behind excuses and step into the authority you were born with. And let me be clear, leadership isn't about controlling others, it's about controlling yourself. It's about mastering your mind, your emotions, your habits. It's about being the example, not just giving the advice. It's waking up early not because someone told you to, but because the mission demands it. It's doing the hard thing, the right thing, especially when no one is watching. Because real leadership happens in the shadows long before it's seen in the spotlight. Leadership means responsibility. It means pressure. It means the weight of knowing that people are watching you, counting on you, drawing strength from your consistency. And if you think that's too much, let me remind you, you were built for it. Your story, your scars, your setbacks, they weren't accidents, they were training. Every obstacle that tried to break you was actually building you, forging you into someone who doesn't just survive storms, but learns how to lead others through them. Settling might seem easier, but it comes with a cost. It costs you your potential. It costs you your peace. It costs you the satisfaction of knowing you gave everything you had to the life you were meant to live. There is nothing more painful than knowing you could have been more, done more, reached higher. but chose to play it safe. That's a slow death. That's the sound of a soul fading. You weren't made for that. You were made to carry vision, to carry truth, to carry the kind of resilience that wakes people up just by the way you walk in the room. Not because you're the loudest, not because you're the most talented, but because you're the most real, because you've been through hell, and instead of letting it define you, you let it refine you. You want to lead, then lead yourself first. Lead yourself when no one else believes in the dream. Lead yourself when the results don't match the effort. Lead yourself when you're exhausted, discouraged, and out of motivation. That's where real leadership is born. In the moments no one sees. In the quiet, consistent, committed actions that shape who you become. Don't wait for the world to validate your vision. Don't wait for someone to crown you worthy. You were born worthy. You were born capable. You were born chosen to do something only you can do. But you've got to wake up every day and prove to yourself that you're serious about it. That you're not going to settle for less just because more feels hard to reach. Being a leader means you might be misunderstood. It means walking a road not many people want to walk. It means making decisions that others won't understand. But that's the price. That's the cost of being uncommon in a world that celebrates convenience. Don't be afraid of that. Own it. Wear that pressure like armor, because pressure reveals what's real. Every time you settle, you shrink. Every time you lead, you rise. You're not here to repeat the same cycles. You're not here to keep the same mindset, stuck in the same place, doing the same things. You're here to grow, to evolve, to set a new standard, not just for yourself, but for everyone connected to you. Because make no mistake, people are watching. Your life is a blueprint for someone else's breakthrough. That's what leaders do. They show the way, they go first. They take the hits so others can walk the path behind them. And if you choose to settle, that path disappears, it closes, it gets buried under fear and doubt and what-ifs. But if you choose to rise, if you choose to lead, you create something that outlives you. A legacy. You don't have to be the most talented, you don't have to be the most educated, but you do have to be willing to be bold, willing to be uncomfortable, willing to stand when everyone else sits. Willing to believe in the unseen. That's what makes you different. That's what sets you apart. There's a reason you've never been able to fully settle. A reason why no matter how much you try to play small, there's a voice inside that keeps calling you to more. That voice isn't confusion. That's your truth. That's your spirit reminding you that you were born to lead, that you were never meant to dim your light for someone else's comfort. You've been through too much to play small now. You've seen too much, felt too much, fought through too much to stop short of the greatness that's in you. It's time to step into it, not next year, not someday, now. The world doesn't need another person settling. It needs another leader standing. It needs you.